Okay, Jennifer.
Hey, my name is Jennifer Judd. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I am super, super excited to bring this event to you. So I hope this first picture here has gotten your attention. So why did we come up with this Queenager event? It actually was an inspiration from one of my customers that was looking for tips, suggestions, different things to keep herself feeling young and healthy as she gets older. And she is not yet a Queenager by definition, but she is looking at ways to prepare herself for the future, prevention. So what is a Queenager? Who looked it up on Google? Queenager is a mature woman, probably over 46, with the wisdom and experience of years, but with the will to be active and have fun like a teenager. So whether we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s, older, we'll all be a Queenager at some point, and I'm sure you would all love to be as healthy and vibrant as you can. So thank you, Karen, for organizing all these amazing speakers tonight. So our three key speakers will be Lydia Kopika, a nutritionist, Debbie Jesse, a registered nurse, Robin L. Sick, a certified medical exercise specialist, along with several other accolades. And then we have some awesome women that are going to be sharing their story. And I hope that you have a notebook or a piece of paper and a pencil to write down these great ideas. And I hope you enjoy our event. We're going to start our stories with Kathy, and then Kathy's going to pass it to her friend.
Awesome. Thanks, Jennifer and Karen. This is great. I love being a part of this because I have really experienced a lot of my why recently. My name is Kathy Murphy. I have been a part of this community for the last 10 years, and I'm so grateful to know about the healthy habits that we all really are focused on. Because 10 years ago, we were caring for my dad when he was aging and ultimately passed away. And then we passed on to caring for his wife. And now 10 years later, we have had to stop our full-time RV life. My husband and I actually live in an RV and travel full-time. 4 months ago, we got a phone call from his parents saying that his mom was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. And so we dropped everything to come home to care for them. And both sets of parents, I will say, did not really live a healthy lifestyle. They were not so focused. I don't know if it was the generation or just them, but when we came home, it was difficult to get them to even try some of the foods that we were eating because we have gotten used to eating more whole foods and having more healthy lifestyle, and it wasn't really a part of who they were. And so now we're caring for them as a result of, I think, their unhealthy decisions. And so that is one of the main reasons that I'm so focused in being involved in this community, because you all help me really stay on track. It's not always perfect, but I feel like I get the tools that I need when I'm in this community. And so one of my favorite people that I get to pass this off to is Robin Sick. She's been a dear friend of mine and a mentor of mine for over 20 years. And we were both military spouses, and she used to run the neighborhood, and she'd stop by and say, I'm going for a run and I want to pray for you. How can I be praying for you? Our husbands led very busy, stressful military leadership lives, and that was a blessing for me. But to watch her run for the last 20 years has been an incredible, inspiring thing for me. Just a few years ago, Robin, she's going to tell you her age soon, wanted to run the Marine Corps Marathon, and I lived in the DC area. Her son was there, so she's like, I'm going to go run the marathon with my son. Will you come out and cheer me on? And I'm like, sure, I'll take pictures. It was a blazing rainy marathon, and I chased her all over the place from point A to point B to just get these pictures. And by the end of the day, I had done 10 miles and thought I was going to pass out. I was tired. I didn't train for that day, but she ran that 26.2 miles like it was a piece of cake. And she just has inspired me so much all these years, and her knowledge and education to help me understand, the aging effects and what I can do to prevent that and to age gracefully has been just really so awesome in my life. So I want to just pass on to Robin Sick. She's a medical exercise specialist and trainer, and she works with a lot of our aging population in her training. So Robin, I'm going to pass it on to you.
Well, I am so excited to be here. And first, I want to say thank you, Karen, for inviting me. I'm 70 in May. So I want to say and encourage you guys, age is all a number. Age is all a number. So as you can see, I was thinking I want to extend my life. All right. And I am a runner. I am a marathoner. And it's funny because I saw in the chat somebody want to do a half marathon. I was out training one day and
What happened?
so sorry. I don't know. I had it off. So anyway, Kathy had been dripping on me these plant capsules. And I said, well, I'm healthy. And I've always told my clients, a fit person isn't always a healthy person. It's inside what matters. And so 2 weeks off of recovery, I began to ponder and look at the research. And I said, Robin, what is your problem? All it is fruit and vegetables. That's it. And so I got on him and I noticed my energy level, my joints didn't hurt as much. I had terrible sinus problems. And I thought back, I wished my mom could have been on this. She passed away 5 years ago of dementia. And then my grandmother of a fatal stroke. And I said, I need to have a why, a strong why. And I have going on 11 grandkids. And I said, they're my why. I want to be able to keep up with them. Yesterday, we're visiting our second son, and I jumped like, a 15-year-old on that trampoline. I did it. So I was super excited. But I noticed that in my training clients, mobility and balance is such a big thing. At the age of 80, there's a high risk of fall. Age 90, there's 25% mortality rate. So I was thinking, I don't want to be shuffling at that age. I want to still be vibrant. So when I take my clients through, I take them through a lot of functional training, the front, the back, everything, all scopes of the training. And I have people sometimes start small. I have a 22-year-old right now is my youngest client. And then my oldest is 80 and everybody in between. So I meet them where they're at, but all of them need to move properly. And, as we age, we start aging over the, feeling a little bit over the age of 40, the loss of strength. And the coolest thing I found out by a researcher was in the cell, you have the powerhouse, which is called the mitochondria. And that has enhanced that to help reverse a term called sarcopenia, the loss of muscle strength. But as we age, the first thing we don't even think about it is power. That's why we lose our balance, because we can't perform quick enough in those motions. So it's so important to address those things. Power and strength, and you have cardiovascular training. A lot of higher intensity is good, not every day, but picking up the pace, doing more weight in the, with your strength training is vitally important. And, the metabolic conditioning, the number one risk for cardiovascular artery disease is lack of exercise. It's called the new smoking. So I just encourage you guys to get up, make simple changes, baby steps, write them down, write your goals down. And the last thing that was so important, I keep up with in the fitness industry with continuing education courses, University of Mexico professor, Len Kravitz, wonderful. He talks about the power of recovery. If we're not recovering, we're not giving our body the oxidative stress to reverse all of that. And to bring in plant nutrition, all of that helps as well to be able to do it harder and longer and stronger. I just feel like right now, I'm such a testimony at this point because I say, you know, if I can do it, you can do it. And somebody mentioned a half marathon. I'm training for one now, April 1st. And so I'm super excited about it. So hopefully this information will help you. If you have anything that you'd want to ask, private message me and I'm there for you. All right, thank you. You can go ahead and take a screenshot of everything also as well.
Yeah, if you guys can mute yourselves, please, that would be great. And then, yeah, take a screenshot. We've got a couple of slides on here that you can take screenshots of. We're trying to make sure that you all have the resources and information. So, okay, so let's get started. So I love that we heard from Kathy. We heard about how she's taking care of ailing parents and in-laws that didn't take care of themselves. So she's seen that side of it. So now she really wants to take care of herself. And then Robin talking about exercise. And I don't know, it's funny because this morning I did 2 classes back to back. And I wonder if that was kind of the subliminal thing, knowing that I was doing this event tonight and Robin was going to be on. So let's talk about, we are unhealthy. This is Americans, right? Heart disease, cancer, diabetes, obesity. And one of the things that impacted me, I saw this presentation years ago, and the thing that impacted me, it's not really as relevant right now for our event, is that our children are more harmed by poor diet than by exposure to drugs, alcohol, and tobacco combined. But the one thing I think of is that this starts in childhood. You know, a lot of people will talk about how, oh gosh, you know, I'm good. We've got it in our genes. My grandmother lived to 98, but their grandparents lived off the land. Their grandparents didn't have McDonald's. Their grandparents weren't drinking soda. So they had a much better start. You know, our generation, and really from like, I want to say the 70s on, have a much rougher start with all the fast food and all the, you know, the junk food. So food quality is decreasing. More than 50%, it's actually 57% of what Americans are eating is processed food. That means it's like boxed up and it has a big long label on it. If you go to the produce section and you look at carrots or apples or spinach, it doesn't have a big long label on it. There actually is usually no label at all because you know what it is. It's apples or spinach. So we want to try and avoid that list, the bullet point right there, as much as we can, with preservatives and hormones and GMO, a lot of those you guys have heard about. And then one of the other things we need to be cognizant and aware of actually is the quality of our produce. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well, is that when you see the produce in the grocery store, a lot of it wasn't like we just picked it and it was there. That's why if you can go to a farmer's market and eat local, it's much better than if you can get food, produce at the grocery store. But broccoli could lose 50 to 80% of the key nutrients before you purchase it. If you want apples, right? Apple season is usually in the fall. If you want apples sometime like right now, or even in the spring, sometimes apples have been in cold storage for 6 months or more. So once that produce is picked, it starts to lose the nutrition. Let's talk about oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is something that's happening to all of us, and it's actually happening to all of us right now as we're sitting here. Oxidative stress is just aging, and it causes free radicals, and the free radicals are kind of like the bad guys beating up your cells, and this is what causes aging and disease. So when we think about oxidative stress, I know years ago I had heard the word antioxidants. And I didn't really understand what it meant. But what it means is it's going to fight the oxidative stress. So we need to eat as many foods that have antioxidants in them as possible. And guess where they come from? Fruits and vegetables. I'm sorry that they don't come from Dunkin' Donuts and, and Starbucks and places like that, but it's as many fruits and vegetables as possible. So, and we actually, oxidative stress happens, again, just sitting here, but while exercise is good, your body creates even more oxidative stress the more you exercise. So you would need to eat even more fruits and vegetables. I want to talk about this just really briefly. It's a little bit about the research with Juice Plus and skin care, and the skin research. But one of the things that women are mainly concerned about is wrinkles, right? How does our skin look? Do we look like we're actually aging? Because you saw the picture of that apple before, where if you cut an apple or cut a banana, it starts to age, it starts to brown. So the more fruits and vegetables, there's so much research out there showing that the more fruits and vegetables we eat, it can actually slow down the aging process and help to slow down the wrinkles and the aging. And Juice Plus actually has skincare research published in Skin Pharmacology and Physiology, where Juice Plus increases skin microcirculation by 39%, along with boosting skin hydration, thickness, and density. So who doesn't want that? Okay, let's get back to, we need to eat 7 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. And I don't want you guys to get discouraged, okay? It is really hard, but it's totally doable. And we have an answer if you're having trouble getting there. But 7 servings is for kids, 9 servings is for women, and 13 servings is for men. And athletes, if you're running, like Robin is training for a marathon, and the other woman, I forget her name, is training for that half marathon. And even me, I go to the gym and I'm doing a class or two. We need to eat even more because of that oxidation in our body. So why so many? We talked a little bit about that. Produce is picked before nutrition fully develops. It's transported thousands of miles. Think about if you look at blueberries, or I'm trying to think what else. A lot of berries they're coming from Chile, they're coming from Mexico. Oranges are coming from, California, and we live in Georgia. 90% of Americans, over 90% of Americans, are not eating enough fruits and vegetables. And that's with them counting ketchup and French fries, which is not good. And then we don't get enough of variety from the rainbow. I meet a lot of people who say they eat a lot of fruits and vegetables every day, which is awesome. But a lot of times they're eating the same fruits and vegetables every single day. And I know that we're guilty of that, because my kids like certain fruits and vegetables, but they're not going to eat right now Brussels sprouts. They're not eating asparagus. They're not eating beets. They're not eating the rainbow. They want their broccoli. They want the carrots. They want apples. They want the same fruits and vegetables. So they're not getting this huge variety. And when you talk about the rainbow, the nutrition, the phytochemicals, that are in blueberries is different than what's in a tomato, than what's in broccoli. So we do need to eat all the different colors. So let's talk really quickly about a vitamin versus food. For over, oh my gosh, I think it's 70 years, we thought that the answer was vitamins, isolated synthetic vitamins, because they were trying to prevent rickets and scurvy and all different kinds of things. And now we know that vitamins are not the answer, because like I said, vitamins are isolated, which means they're just singular. It's just vitamin C. They're synthetic. They're made by somebody in a lab somewhere. So your body doesn't see it as bioavailable food. What we need is whole food nutrition. What your body wants is the apple. It wants the orange. So it wants the vitamin C from the orange, not isolated vitamin C. Your body doesn't understand it as much. It wants the folate, not the folic acid. So 70% of Americans, it's over 70% of Americans, are trying to fill the gaps with a multivitamin because they know they're not eating enough fruits and vegetables, and they don't know what else to do, and they're not going to eat more fruits and vegetables. So they take a vitamin hoping that it's going to work. I'll tell you, you guys can read the rest of that just as an example, I love to give this kind of as an aha moment, is vitamin C. Everybody knows vitamin C. A lot of people are taking it. Some people, even over the last couple of years, took just isolated vitamin C by itself, and they took mega doses of it. And so some people, while they're taking 500, 1,000, 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C, the average orange has only 60 milligrams of vitamin C in it. And most of the time, if you're eating a wide variety of fruits and vegetables, your body doesn't even need that. So when it's coming from the food and it's bioavailable in your body doesn't need mega doses of isolated vitamins. It just needs the synergy of all the phytochemicals working together from the fruits and vegetables. So let's talk about a simple answer. This was my one simple change. Oh my goodness, it's going to be 19, I can't even believe it, 19 years in May, where somebody shared with me Juice Plus. And I honestly didn't get it. I'll share with you my story in just a second, but Juice Plus is nutrition from over 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries in your diet. They're whole foods. It's the fruits and the vegetables that have been picked at the peak of ripeness. They're pulverized, dried into powders that are put into the capsules and into the gummies. And we even have a full spectrum omega, which uses plants instead of the fish. So we're saving the fish. So while I share with you my story really quickly, I want you to take a look at this image and think about how many of these on here are you eating and how many are you eating every single day? And think about your family as well. So again, I shared with you that almost 19 years ago, somebody shared Juice Plus with me, and I happened to be pregnant. And I thought, well, you know what, I'll take it during the pregnancy because I could certainly use some more nutrition. And I had grown up with allergies and asthma. I was adopted. My adoptive parents, my mom was a nurse, so I was receiving the best treatment possible, which now I wish they had worked on prevention instead of just treatment. But I was getting allergy shots. I was taking the prescription medicine. I really suffered. I didn't have a great childhood. I was allergic to grass. So I'd go out and try and play with my friends, and I'd come in having an asthma attack. So fast forward to 35 when I was pregnant with my first child, and she introduced me. And I thought, well, it can't hurt. Let me just take this during the pregnancy. I noticed by the end of the pregnancy that I no longer was suffering with the symptoms of allergies and asthma. I hadn't been allowed to take the prescription drugs that I had taken for, I don't even know how many years, probably 25 plus years before then. And now it will be actually that long since I've been on any prescription medication. And what happens is Juice Plus became the catalyst for me, right? So I felt better, and I thought, oh my gosh, if the nutrition in this capsule can make me feel this much better and help with my immune system, and I'm not suffering from allergies and asthma anymore, imagine if I actually changed my diet. So that's kind of where I started with some more simple changes by giving up soda, trying to reduce, dairy in my diet, trying to eat more fruits and vegetables. Now I actually can wake up and I'll crave vegetables for breakfast, which is crazy. So I love sharing that story because I had been told that it was genetic and there was nothing I could do. I would always be on medication. And I love that not only am I not on medication, but it wasn't genetic. Neither one of my kids suffer from allergies and asthma. So we have power within our lifestyle. So plant-based omegas, this really excites me because I'm all about saving the fish, guys. All about saving the fish. We kill billions of fish out there every year for these omega-3s. And guess what? Fish do not have naturally occurring omega-3s. It comes from the plants that they're eating. It comes from the algae that they're eating in the ocean. So our omega is actually an omega blend. It is an omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 coming from all those wonderful oils right there. And you see all the benefits that you can get from the omega. And I will throw in here, since this is a ladies event, is that I actually use the omega as kind of an oil, like a moisturizer, a few times a week on my skin as well. Not only is it the least expensive moisturizer that I've got, it is the best. It just is amazing. It really has helped with, I think, the wrinkles, the hydration in my skin, and it is just great. But if you want to know more about that, you can't put it on right away and go out because you are a little bit orange, but it is awesome. If you have the omegas, try it tonight. Juice Plus is unique. How is it different than a multivitamin? So it's plant powders. We talked about that. It's got a food label. Go check your vitamin if you've got one at home and look, it probably says supplement label on the back. Ours is a nutrition label. It's a food label allowed by the FDA. Made with non-GMO ingredients. It's vegan, kosher, dairy, and gluten-free. It's NSF certified. NSF is the National Sanitation Foundation. It's a third-party company that we have hired to come in. They come in sporadically and check the different powders and to make sure that they're safe for human consumption, that there is no bacteria, herbicides, pesticides, lead, contaminants in there that are going to be dangerous for us. And then the most impressive, honestly, is it is the most researched whole food nutritional product in the world. We are up to 47 clinical research studies published in medical journals. And some of them are published in journals like the research has been done at MD Anderson Cancer Center with ovarian cancer survivors. We have an impressive body of research. So if you can ask the person who invited you to this for specifics. Okay, so Juice Plus is not about treating or curing specific conditions or disease. It's kind of like what I told you with my story, is it kind of became the catalyst. The nutrition from that produce did help me. And then what happened is I wanted to make other changes. And that's what really helped to get me healthier and keep me healthy. Okay, so I am going to pass it over to Debbie DeJesse. She has a fantastic story.
Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for inviting me tonight. I'm a registered nurse who spent most of my practice in emergency medicine. So how can we enjoy the best quality of our life as our bodies change? We really want to thrive and not just survive. It is so important to be self-aware. Do not assume that any new symptom is just a sign of aging. Our body speaks to us, but too often we ignore subtle warnings. When we're younger, our bodies will rebound from lack of sleep, poor diet, bad habits, much quicker than when we're older. We don't immediately see the damage or disease that occurs. We can enjoy a much more productive, fulfilling, and comfortable quality of life if we will just prioritize self-care and give ourselves a little TLC. That's why we're here, right? Having a good and trusted primary care provider to partner with is invaluable. And partnering means, though, that we must also take personal responsibility for our own well-care. Do your homework and become familiar with any health issues you may have, and understand that anything that we do or don't do has a risk or a benefit. Look at options. While pharmaceuticals do have their benefits, they're not always the only option. And I'm a good story for that one. For example, if you have a pain, rather than just medicating that pain to make it go away, try to find out what's causing it. Pain is a symptom, like that check engine light in your car. It tells you to pay attention. Don't ignore it. As a nurse in the emergency department, I saw every day the results of those who did not take care of themselves, like that picture that we started off with, and they didn't seek medical attention in a timely manner. So be sure to do your regular screenings for cardiovascular health, digestive health, skin health, dental health, and lab work to keep an eye on important body functions. Find and fix those small problems before they become big ones. It's much easier to fix them early. As we mature, our bodies change and perform differently. Older adults may take longer to recover from an illness or injury, but we are not helpless to make that positive impact in our recovery. Cognitive function is also impacted greatly as we age. Stress management is very important, but the opposite is also something to be aware of. It is critical to be engaged and stimulated as we transition into retired life. To have interaction with others and a purpose keeps us vibrant. The nutritional component is really critical here as well. I have found helpful guidance at the national organizations that also do research and seek ways to improve overall health. Some of these examples are the American Heart Association, the American Stroke Association, the Arthritis Foundation, and the American Cancer Society. The internet makes finding resources and information a lot easier than it used to be, but nothing replaces a healthcare provider who knows you to help you interpret and use that information appropriately. The American Heart Association, interestingly, published a paper in 2010 that has since been cited in more than 2,500 publications. The research defines 7 areas a person could improve to reduce risk for heart attack and stroke, which are 2 of our biggest and most severe health challenges. This became known as Life's Simple 7, and it includes smoking cessation along with knowing your numbers as they relate to your physical activity, diet, blood glucose, cholesterol, and blood pressure. This year, 1 more was added to the list, and that was sleep, because it's recognized that our body really requires good sleep to rebuild and rejuvenate. Now we have the guidance of Life's Essential 8. Additionally, their dietary guidance for cardiovascular health clearly states to eat plenty of fruits and vegetables and to choose a wide variety. So if you look at this slide, What Juice Plus is also promoting is in alignment with all of these other organizations. Can you change the slide for me, please, Karen? Okay. These other well-known organizations also agree and promote diet, movement, and sleep, as research shows they play a critical part in managing changes and optimizing our good outcomes. You see, I'm one of those healthcare professionals who was attracted to learning more about Juice Plus because of their research. Our published research has shown that Juice Plus helps fight systemic inflammation, and it is bioavailable to help our bodies. Take a look at the research on this slide that's been conducted by Juice Plus. I'm just going to summarize a little bit for time's sake, but please reach out to the people to whoever invited you, because there's so much wonderful information. So many of the critical functions I mentioned, again, are included here: cardiovascular health, metabolism of cholesterol, inflammation, digestive health, dental health, cognitive processes, and more. And I love this quote by Dr. Du Bois: "There is nothing else available any place in the world, either with or without a prescription, that has been clinically proven to do what Juice Plus has proven to do." And this is studied and documented. On a personal note, after a life-changing 8-level cervical spine surgery and extensive osteoarthritis all over that is congenital and genetic for me, I had symptoms of bone, muscle, and nerve damage. Not surprisingly, I was prescribed many medications to manage those symptoms. I am so glad that I was introduced to Juice Plus and started taking it 8 years ago. I was like Karen's mom, who was the nurse who knew all about treatment, but was never really taught a lot about prevention. So when I became the patient, all that changed. As a result of flooding my body with concentrated fruits and vegetables, I am now no longer in need of most of those medications. The arthritis is still there, but my body's response to it has changed dramatically. 2 years ago in March, my husband had triple bypass surgery. His doctors were really amazed at his quick recovery and praised his continued use of whole food nutrition. Several of our friends who also had physically demanding careers in the fire service have also seen much quicker recovery from things like hip, knee, and shoulder surgeries as a result of flooding their bodies with whole food nutrition before and after surgery. For our part, as we have embarked on a new journey of traveling and living in our motorhome this past year, I'll have to chat with Kathy. I recognized it's important to develop new routines centered around our self-care. We still monitor and record our numbers a few times a week so that we can stay on track. And this includes blood pressure, pulse, blood glucose, and weight. I try to practice what I preach. And we make sure we have a good supply of healthy food and snack options of all kinds for all kinds of good adventures. We also make sure we keep our Juice Plus capsules and complete shakes and stock with us as we're traveling. And developing a new exercise and stretching habit is so important, especially with my severe osteoarthritis. A lack of movement can be life-changing and not in a positive way. The old saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, is definitely true. So here's wishing all of you a healthy journey into the new year. Thank you, Karen.
Oh my gosh. I mean, that was powerful information. Okay, so super excited. Our last main expert that's going to be speaking is Lydia, and she's a nutritionist.
Thank you, Karen. Thanks, everybody. Great job so far. And my name's Lydia Kopika. I'm a nutritionist. I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I also have suffered through the years with an autoimmune disease. And that's kind of what brought me here today to this product and this business. About 12 years ago, I was teaching a cooking class for PCRM, Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. And that's really where I started learning about the benefits of antioxidants and phytonutrients, which come from plant foods. It's really not about eating more chicken. It's those colors, those dense colors in the plant foods that are so important. And when I worked in hospitals years ago, I used to teach 3 to 5 servings a day of fruits and vegetables. And as Karen pointed out, that number it keeps escalating because a number of reasons. And one is that our food quality and the nutrient density is going down. And so again, and I used to teach what we used to call the food pyramid, if you're familiar with that. And now we have what you see the slide on the screen. It's the Choose My Plate. So these are the current recommendations that every meal, every day, half of your plate every meal should be made up of fruits and vegetables. 1/4 of your plate should be some sort of a grain, and 1/4 should be protein. Half of that protein portion should be plant-based proteins. So if you look at that, it tells us 87% of every meal every day should come from plants. And it doesn't matter what kind of diet you're on, we all know we need more plant foods. And which brings us to our event today is a Queenager. So I hate to tell you, but at 65, I can tell you firsthand that our bodies change as we age. And so let's talk about steps to prepare that, either for some of us that are trying to reverse that, or to prepare that so that we don't have so much to fight later on down the road. So as our bodies change, our hormones, as we age, our hormone levels change, and that causes a change in our muscle mass, our bones, and our fat storage. So there's kind of a new term called osteosarcopenic obesity. Doesn't that sound like fun? It's a combination of osteoporosis, sarcopenia, which is muscle loss, and an increase in fat. I call it the triple whammy. And then if you add hot flashes to that, now you've got even a fourplex. So one of the ways to combat that and prevent that is studies show that as we add soy to our diet, it helps prevent with bone loss. It helps prevent in bone loss in aging women. It improves muscle, and it helps reduce body weight and body fat. And it's proven to decrease hot flashes. So soy is a complete protein. It's also fat-free, and it's high in fiber, which makes it almost kind of a perfect food. So it's also cardiovascular protective or preventive, which is really important. Somebody was talking about cardiovascular disease. It also helps improve blood circulation to the brain. And isn't that important as we age also? So all these fun things we get to deal with as we age. But soy also has phytoestrogens, which are proven to decrease the incidence of breast cancer and prostate cancer. So if you look at this slide, these are some studies. Women with breast cancer using soy, they're less likely to die from their disease or even suffer reoccurrence. We know one of the studies on our Juice Plus capsules and our complete shakes, our soy shakes, it was done on women with ovarian cancer, and also proving, it's now supported by some of the top cancer institutes, the American Cancer Society, the American Institute for Cancer Research, and the World Cancer Research Fund International. Those are some of your top most important institutes. And it's also, as I mentioned earlier, shown to decrease hot flashes in menopausal women. So I can tell you that has been such a great benefit and a blessing from using our shakes daily. A little bit about our Juice Plus shakes. They are vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free. They're non-GMO, so it's a non-GMO, clean soy, water-washed, minimally processed, which is really important. There's a lot of different kinds of soy out there. Some of it's damaging, but you want to have a clean, non-GMO soy, and that's what our shakes are. They're made of soy, beans, and peas, so it's a blend. And beans and peas, they're great sources of, they can be great sources of calcium, which a lot of people are concerned about, especially when it comes to osteoporosis, but there's a lot of great ways to get your calcium from plant foods. So Karen has put up the slide here about our shakes. As I mentioned, they're non-GMO. We have the cleanest shake mix rating in the industry. And that's also something that's really important. It's that NSF certification that what we're getting and what we're using is certified and it's clean. A lot of the items out there on the shelves are kind of scary. They're not necessarily clean. They're come from factories with cross-contamination. They can be high in heavy metals and contaminants and arsenic and lead. So those are some things to be concerned about. But so we have two shakes. One is our complete, and that is high in fiber. And it's also high in protein. And it's kind of a complete meal because it has protein, fat, and carbs. And then our second shake is our Perform shake. And that is lower in carbs. It's higher in protein, twice the amount of protein. And, you know, as we age, that's something for women we need to concentrate on too, is we want to make sure we're decreasing the amount of maybe simple carbs in our diet and focusing more on complex carbs, things like high fiber foods, and getting good clean sources of protein. That's going to help us with our hot flashes. It's going to help with our muscle development and supporting our muscle health, and also, like I said, decreasing hot flashes, but also helping decrease and prevent that belly fat that we also tend to get as we age. So that's where the term Queenager comes in. We get to deal with all these fun things, but we also want to have fun doing it. So thank you for tonight, and thanks for reaching out. And thank you, Karen. You want to go on from here?
Yep, I sure will. So I know I put in there really quickly that I was actually a part of that menopause study with PCRM. And I really think that knowing now, because I'd been drinking the Juice Plus Complete shakes for so long, I think that because of having soy for, oh my gosh, I don't know, 16 years at the time, 15, 16 years at the time, was probably one of the reasons I never had severe hot flashes anyway. But going a vegan, eating half a cup of the soy every single day, in addition to those shakes, I eliminated hot flashes from 3 weeks, and I haven't gotten them back. And I do realize when you do that, you realize some of your triggers. And I know that dairy is a huge trigger for me. Thankfully, wine is not. Family health studies. So I love that the company realizes the value in getting the whole family healthy, right? And not just mom, not just the kids. And so what we have is a study where if an adult goes on Juice Plus, it can be mom, dad, aunt, grandparent, an older sibling. If they get started on Juice Plus, either capsules or chewables, then they can sponsor a child between the ages of 4 through 18, even a full-time college student, for up to 4 years. Now that's going to change later this year, but for right now, that's up to 4 years. So isn't that fantastic? And look at just simply 61% are eating more fruits and vegetables. 66% are visiting the doctor less. Wouldn't you love to not miss work because your kid is sick? Okay, so bridging the gap. Juice Plus isn't replacing fruits and vegetables. We're talking about, bridging the gap. So it's just like the idea of the vitamin, except it's so much better because it's food. So it's helping you to bridge a gap between what you're eating every single day and what you should be eating every single day. And I think, well, let me talk about the resources real quick, and then we'll go to a couple of other speakers that are going to share their stories. So our community, this isn't just about Juice Plus, guys. This is about really helping you and supporting you in your journey to become healthier, because that's what it is. This isn't like you don't go join a gym for 30 days and thank God that's over, right? This isn't about taking Juice Plus or eating a few more fruits and vegetables for a week and then stopping. This is really lifelong. If you want to see changes and you want to stay healthy, this is a lifestyle. So we have something that we're actually, we're still in the doing right now is the Shred 10, and that's kind of like a clean eating detox. So you are eating food, but you're eating really clean and you're adding in more fruits and vegetables. We have cookbooks. We have fitness resources. We have so much. We have a Facebook page. If anybody on here is not in our Facebook page, there's different teams on here, but if anybody is not in a health Facebook page, reach out to the person that invited you, because I know that we do monthly challenges, we share recipes, we do all kinds of fun stuff in there. Okay, so I'm gonna turn it over to Kim Rutherford. I can't wait to hear your story.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. Well, I'm Kim, and I just want to thank Karen so much for asking me to come and share tonight on my story. And ladies, this information has been great. Absolutely love it every time I hear someone's story and all of the great information on our products. So about 5 years ago, I was in a very dark place. I had no drive, I had no energy, no joy, and no purpose in my life. I wasn't living, I was only existing in a deep fog. My daughter Amber, with Stacy Turner and Stephanie Ivy introduced my husband and I to these amazing products. Before Juice Plus, I would have what I thought was a very good night's sleep, and I believe my day would be very productive, but that wasn't the case. As soon as I stepped out of the shower, all I could think about was putting our 18-month-old granddaughter, Olivia, down for a nap so that I could rest. I lived for my naps. And if a customer came into our retail store, all I could think with them was to hurry up, get your stuff, and get out. I had absolutely no desire to be around them at all. So Dale and I met with Stacy, Stephanie, and Amber at a local coffee shop, and I couldn't even focus on what Stacy was sharing with us that night. The next morning, Dale and I discussed what she had shared, and with tears streaming down my face, I told him that I couldn't do this anymore. If we didn't try these products and they work, I couldn't keep Olivia any longer. After about 2 months of eating my Juice Plus, my whole life changed. My energy had increased. I was laughing, joking, having meaningful conversations, and hope and joy had returned, and the fog had lifted. And I now know I was nutritionally depressed. In 2005, I had had a total hysterectomy and was still having severe night sweats, hot flashes, and many other side effects. I was unable to take hormones and was megadosing on over-the-counter remedies. Nothing worked. Now, after being on Juice Plus for about 5 years, the night sweats and hot flashes have ceased. The joint inflammation, loss of hair, and fingernail breakage are no longer there. This is just a few of the positive results from this one simple change. Juice Plus has saved my life. I am 60 years old and I am on no medications, and I'm so thankful for these products. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, Kim, I think you have several of us tearing up. Okay, so my last friend to share her story is going to be Jules, and then you're going to finish us out.
Hi guys. Well, that's a hard act to follow. I feel like Kim should have went last. I have like so much to say, but I am just going to, first of all, tell you guys, my name is Jules Kilker. I live in North Florida. I have 3 little ones. I'm age 44. My background is in personal training and fitness instructor, and so many things that were shared tonight I have been learning over the past few years. When I was a young whippersnapper trainer, and I would have ladies that were 40 and older come to me and tell me their woes about metabolism decreasing, and I remember saying to them, age is just a number, don't worry about it, and kind of just brushing it off. Of course, now that I am over that 40-year mark and close to my mid 40s, I realized that their concerns were way more valid than I made them out to be, and that there is things that happen to your body that we might not like when we turn 40 and older. And so what I have loved learning the past couple of years is that it can be changed. And when I heard about Juice Plus, actually, it was about 14 years ago. So I was in my 20s, and I wasn't healthy. I loved what I think Diane, the first speaker, said, like, just because you're fit doesn't mean you're healthy. And that was me. My hair was falling out. I had cystic acne. My nails were breaking. And I was a trainer. I was teaching 36 fitness classes a week, but I was not healthy. And I knew it. I just didn't know what the missing link was. I was taking vitamins. I was drinking whey protein shakes. I was doing what everybody in the gym was doing. When they introduced Juice Plus to me, one of my dear friends and clients introduced Juice Plus to me, it all started making sense. I knew that I wasn't eating enough fruits and vegetables. I knew that not only was not half my plate fruits and vegetables, but like half my day was not fruits and vegetables. And to be honest, if I got a banana for breakfast and a salad for dinner, I felt like I was doing good. And so all these light bulbs started clicking for me back then, like, okay, I'm not eating enough, but also a lot of people in my life that I knew they weren't eating enough either. And so it just made sense that I started sharing this with my customers, my clients, my family, and my friends. And so over the years, I have obviously got a lot healthier. I lost weight, which I now know was that puffy layer that I was carrying was inflammation. And my cystic acne went away. Never had a cystic acne breakout since I started on Juice Plus that first year. My hair stopped falling out. My nails are stronger than they have ever been. But what I absolutely love is the community that surrounds you when you partner with Juice Plus as a customer, because half of this information you would not know. You might know that fruits and vegetables are good for you, but Juice Plus provides so much more than fruits and vegetables in a capsule. The nutrition is awesome, but the education is even better. And so all these things that you guys are learning tonight, I know you're not hearing this when you walk into a GNC. You're not hearing this when you walk down the aisles of Walmart vitamin aisle. And so over the years, I have learned this information and things like what Karen said about the soy and the menopause. For me, aging, I'm most scared about menopause. I have, I think my PMS, my just being in PMS symptoms, the emotional symptoms and stuff like that. I've always been scared to go into menopause, but hearing Karen and the soy, and I also know that weight training is a huge part. Karen also said you can't outrun your diet, but that's not to say that you just focus on diet, because exercise is so important too. And lifting heavy weights is so important as we age. So they both are important. And so, I'm super excited to take all this information that we heard today and really put it into practice. Eat more fruits and vegetables, lift heavier weights, eat more soy, drink the Juice Plus Complete. I mean, my goodness, you cannot get a more nutritional meal than the Juice Plus Complete. Not only can I take it, my husband drinks it, my kids drink it. It's for the whole family. And, take these stories, these really powerful stories like what Kim shared, and just know that I love also what Debbie said, like, you're either paying for it now, it's either risk or reward, what you put in your body. You're either going to have benefit or risk from it. And so take all this information and put it into practice. One little change every day can add up to a big difference. One simple change. And that was where I started 14 years ago with the Juice Plus. And I have to be honest with you guys, I'm always transparent. If you guys know me, I never say anything that isn't true. But when I heard Juice Plus, I thought, I can't afford this. And then what I thought after that was, how can I afford not to take this? What is worse, not taking Juice Plus and feeling like how I was feeling day after day, or maybe feeling a little strain on my pocketbook. But to be honest, when you really think about it, it's not that big of a strain on your pocketbook. Look at these prices per day. And this slide cracks me up. Has anybody been to Starbucks lately? Yeah, I'm sorry. You cannot get a tall Frappuccino for $4. They're like $5.50 now. That's for a tall, the small ones. And so when you think about inflation and how much fruits and vegetables are in the grocery store right now, you cannot get this nutrition for any less than what Juice Plus is affording it to be. Not only that, you got the free children's health study. So Juice Plus is super affordable. But also, this is what I've learned over the years, is that people pay for what they value. And so, to be honest, I think most of us would pay way more for this Juice Plus because of what it has done for us and for our health. And not only that, like I said, the community, it's invaluable. You can't put a price tag on your health. You really can't. And so I'm just going to close and say, first of all, thank you guys for taking the time to be with us tonight, because we know you could be spending your time in so many other places, and for you to take it out and listen to what we had to say, we really respect that and we value that also. And so you can do a couple things. You can do, like I said, add some more fruits and vegetables to your diet. You can lift heavier weights. Maybe you guys want to put in the chat one thing you're going to start doing. You could become a Juice Plus customer, and there's a lot of different packages and programs you can start with that fit all budgets. I promise you. Or you could do what I did. I said, how do I get this at a discount? And they said, well, if you share this with your family and friends, you can make money back. It's kind of like Costco, you know, where you pay for your membership and you get money back at the end of the year. You can pay a very small franchise fee, $52 for the year, and then you can actually start earning income with your Juice Plus business. And 14 years later, it has become a huge income for me. And I am so excited every day to share Juice Plus with other people, because people don't know about it and they are struggling. They are wanting to feel better. Like Kim said, you just don't know where people are until you ask them. And when you get to know their story and know how you can help them, it's a really awesome gift you can give them. And so I hope that you guys are inspired tonight. I hope that you leave tonight with one thing that you can do. And thank you for being on.
Sorry, let me unmute. Okay. Oh my gosh. I know. Poor Jules, I left her hanging. Okay. I was working on stopping to share. Okay, so let me stop recording real quick.